Well, hello and welcome back to 9 Years in China with old teacher Kenny. Um, we're getting near most of the stories from the Fuyang days. We still have some, and we're getting ready to go into my next city. But I want to talk about something that I had noticed after I've been in China for a little while. I started going out to the parks and things, with my students, and um, meeting the people and walking around and seeing, everything. And one thing I always noticed every time I went to the parks is not that there was just lots of ladies and families with their babies, but I saw lots of twins. I'm talking about a lot of twins. And I said, well, maybe Chinese people are just more fertile or something. I didn't know. But everywhere I went, I could tell that there was a lot of twins. And that got my curiosity up. And so I thought, well, I'll talk to some of my colleagues and mention that and just see what they say. And sure enough, they said, because of the one-child policy, lots of people are taking pills and things, trying to become extra fertile, and so they can have more than one baby. I said, well, okay, I can understand that, because the way it was back then, you could have one child, and there were a few places you could have two, but basically you could have one child unless there were twins or triplets or something, and there's nothing you can do about that. So if you have twins, you're okay. And so that explains a lot of things, and so now I go out to the parks and I can see all this in action. And twins are cool, they're cute, and you can dress them up, but I got to thinking, I have talked to my students before about the one-child policy, and because a lot of them said they had brothers or sisters, and sometimes if they lived out on the farm, they might have 2 or 3 brothers or sisters. And they said when the people came around to visit, to see, to count, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, I have had my students say, yeah, they had a brother that lived with another family, or maybe a brother or sister that had to hide in the fields. That's how serious it was. You could get in bad financial trouble by having that extra child, because there would be severe penalties. And and it just never made sense to me why they ever had the one-child policy in China, because in Asia, everything relies on the boy to take care of the old people and take care of the family, when they get too old. And the girls, were actually not looked upon that highly, not like today. And this is only 10 years ago, when my first year in China. So many things have changed, lots of opportunity for girls now, and they hold up one half of the sun, as the old Chinese proverb said. But it never made sense to me to have a one-child policy, because in Asia, like I said, everything relies on the boy, so everybody wants to have a boy. With lots of, and girls, well, if they got one, they got one. Nowadays everybody's happy, boy or girl, doesn't matter. But when I first came, and I said it's not been that long ago, that old mentality, especially in the small cities, that old mentality held true. And all of a sudden you got 127 boys to every 100 girls. Now that's a big mismatch already. That's why lots of Chinese men cannot find wives, no matter what. And they go to Vietnam or Thailand or someplace in hopes of maybe finding a wife in another country. Then you got foreigners like me that would love to find a nice Chinese girl to marry. And so those are extra numbers they don't even talk about. So it makes you wonder. And because now they've allowed you to have more than one child in most places. But a few years ago when they started saying, oh, okay, yeah, you can have another baby, you can have another baby, you can do this, you can do that, it's going to take an entire generation just to get the numbers to come back a little more balanced. You got to think, all those babies that's been born in the last 2 or 3 years since they changed this, they still have to go to school, they have to grow up, they have to meet a boy or girl, get married and start a family. So what they said you can do now, it's going to take a whole generation to ever see any improvement. See, so it's a gigantic, to me it's a gigantic waste to do that in the first place. But things are getting better over there, and I think people are just as happy with the boy or the girl. But God dang it, I just wonder if they're still taking pills, to have twins or triplets. But that's why, and that one-child policy, you should think about that. What if they had the one-child policy here in America? How would that work? Probably better than China, because we're just as happy to have a girl, or just as happy to have a boy. Of course, secretly, we want a son to be just like us, but hey, it doesn't matter. It's not that big a deal like it is in Asia. So anyhow, food for thought. Don't forget to watch my videos and subscribe today. Okay? But anyhow, think about that. One-child policy and having twins. It all makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Okay? Have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe or I'll get you.